on what basis did Justice Lifu, what evidence did he rely on in determining when INEC says proving the burden of proof in the matter to say, I have the power to be able to ascertain what organization is fit to be a political party in Nigeria, and what evidence does Justice Lifu rely on in determining that ADC is not fit and proper to be a political party. That statement may not be represented in the ratio of the judgment, but in the obiter, which is also the position and the optics of that judgment. What does this mean? Because I've heard a few of the leaders of the party to say they are not just taking this lying low, they are also pursuing this matter and taking it before the NJC. Do you think it's worth it?
Well, it is conduct that should be condemned by everybody, and I'm sure that the Nigerian Judicial Council, National Judicial Council, will not take lightly the conduct of Justice Lifu. But let me agree with you, as the learned justices of the Court of Appeal found, that INEC, that is the regulator, came out, deposed to an affidavit that ADC and the other political parties had met the constitutional threshold. So they didn't deserve to be deregistered. They deserve to continue to exist. But the National Forum, the case they brought before the court, which is maybe regrettably was supported by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, was that these parties, including ADC, failed to meet the constitutional requirements. But they didn't specify, the National Forum, the plaintiffs, didn't really say what ADC failed to achieve. The INEC actually said that ADC won some seats and exhibited those seats that were won in the 2023 election, which the plaintiffs didn't. The plaintiffs carefully avoided coming out to admit that ADC, in fact, won seats. They never made mention of that. If they had made mention of that, then perhaps they would have been the ones properly to say, well, they won those seats, but those people have left. They didn't. It was not Justice Lifu who manufactured that evidence by himself to buttress the case of the plaintiffs. I believe you get. I've listened
to the judgment, and
it is a very elementary principle of law that a judge must decide on the basis of evidence presented to him.
Yeah.
On the basis of the evidence, the facts presented to him. It is not for a judge to go and manufacture evidence to support.
But the judge also can deduce from the evidence and the positioning or the the positioning of the counsel in the matter. Can deduce. Yes. Based on what you have said, yes, I've deduced from it. The inference that are provided in your evidence, I could deduce that this is because evidently, what an evidence, and in cross-examination, what you are evidently saying, you are not telling the judge, this is exactly, you present it before, and it's left for the judge and the court to be able to make up his mind on what it is.
You are right, Shion, that a court is entitled to balance the evidence that is presented before it, to know which one has probative value, and the relative, balance them, and see which one is believable or more believable. But here the evidence was not presented. So the judge manufactured the evidence himself, weighed it himself.
Officially, is the ADC going to the NJC?
We had actually petitioned Justice Lifu to NJC, yes. We already have a petition against him.
And you are pursuing it?
We are pursuing it. We will pursue this, even additional reasons for us to pursue it. Because it's in everybody's, it's incumbent on all of us to ensure that we have a sanitized judiciary.
But this is not the end of the journey as far as judicial process is concerned.
You are right.
It's just the appellate court.
You are right.
They can go upstairs.
Yes, they're entitled to go upstairs.
So if that happens, and it goes otherwise,
you know, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, you know, if they are going upstairs, it means going to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has said over and over again that they will not tolerate violation of court order. No matter how perverse a court order is, it is not for anybody to violate that court order, and they will come very hard against anybody who violates a court order. How flagrant can a violation be more than what Lifu did? To say to Court of Appeal, yes, I am aware, I have seen, I have received, I have acknowledged your stay of proceedings, but I will not obey it because you don't have any power to arrest my judgment.